We don't. We definitely don't.
Yes.
Is it record? Yeah, it's recorded. We're fine. We
Yeah,
know what
we're
we're doing.
We're good.
We're professionals.
Yeah.
Professional idiots.
Fuck yeah. All right. Driveways. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Boys.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
It's been a hot minute since we had multiple screen thing going on too as well, which is kind of fun. Feels like we're back in the 2020s. You know, those days when no one could be together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got everyone you knew on a Zoom chat.
How far apart are you guys geographically?
I was going to say about...
You're a dickhead.
Oh, that's kind of close. Like I probably could throw a baseball to Ryan's house and then maybe kick a soccer ball to Pat's house. We're really close.
So you are really close, but just don't want to be in the same room. Why don't we do that?
I don't know.
Then I wouldn't have to
throw baseballs or kick something? No, do this all by Zoom. We could do that. I find it like very interesting how the first thing you went to was throw a baseball. I was like, that's so Boston. And then you went kick a soccer ball. And I didn't think that like soccer would be one that you guys would bring up. I thought maybe throw a football, or shoot a basketball.
I mean, I think I can kick a soccer ball further than I can throw a baseball. But I don't know. You guys know what kickball is? I was going to say kick a kickball. Do you guys know what kickball is? You know that sport?
Isn't that soccer ball?
It's like baseball,
like
with like a ball that you kick it. Yeah. Instead.
That sounds infinitely better than baseball.
I'll agree.
Do you get it pitched, or do you have like a mound you kick off?
No,
it's
pitch it
it's
like
rolled.
that. You roll the ball.
And then you kick it.
Is
and
it
then
like
you get to throw the ball at them to get them out?
Is it like a kid's game? Is it like something they play in school?
Yeah, you play it when you were younger and stuff, like middle school, high school.
I would 100% still be playing that now. I'm going to go play that now. I'm going to look up the rules and institute the Australian Institute of Kickball. Is that what you said?
Is there a national kickball league?
There is now. I'm a founding father. You can be in if you want. It's just me playing by myself.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
You can.
All right, perfect. Sorry, I've been messing with this computer for 5 minutes and I'm the worst. Sorry.
That's okay.
I thought you were just sitting there going, I'm really enjoying listening to these guys talk.
That's probably what it looked like. I was on one computer and then that wasn't working. Now I'm on the old damn computer, but all right, everything's good. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah. That's okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for hanging out. We're stoked to have you here.
Of course, thank
you for having us. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's been a fun journey. I discovered you guys quite a while back, but got to bring you to Johnny on the channel here, and then to a wider audience, which has been really cool seeing you guys also kind of grow and progress, and seeing people now like DMing us, being like, "Driveways have a new clip out. Did you check it out yet?" and stuff, which is sick. It's really cool seeing people get behind you guys as well. So.
Oh yeah, you guys are 100% responsible for all of our Australian plays everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
It's all you guys.
The weird thing is our audience is not in Australia. It's more in America than it is here.
Oh, okay. Then you guys just take all the credit. Worldwide.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we will.
Wasn't quite where I was going with that, but sure, we'll accept it. But
I've got questions.
Are they all about Boston? Because I'm only going to allow you 4.
How much do you love Bill Burr? He is great though. No, I've got so many questions, like, especially from watching your clips. Number one, I just want to say that legitimately like love your videos, your music videos. They're so fun. And I love the DIY aspect. I love the just mates just hanging out, just making silly, fun music videos. It really like sort of gives the watcher, like the viewer, a good idea of who you guys are as people, which I think is really cool. Like that sort of fun attitude, but the music still cuts through that because the music's so catchy. I just want to know, like, what are sort of like 5 main bands that you guys take influence from? Because you got so many different sounds.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for that. And I don't know if Ryan and Dee already said this, but we loved all 3 of the videos that you guys reacted to. We were dying laughing at each of them. So appreciate you guys.
Just wait till you hear Salem dickhead tries a Boston accent, and it's truly the worst thing I've ever heard.
Come on, man.
But I don't know, for influences, I feel like we're all over the place. I feel like whenever we think about this, I feel like the first thing that comes to mind is growing up listening to Blink, and like Taking Back Sunday and Sum 41, and just like pop punk when we were all kids. And then as we get older, I know Ryan and Derek, like we're into a lot of heavier bands growing up, like post-hardcore bands. And for me, recently I've been really into like Counterparts, and I love Story So Far. Just a bunch of different stuff. Bring Me to the Horizon. What do you guys think? What am I missing?
Silverstein's a staple, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There is a good tie into all those bands. Like you can hear elements of that all in there. It's so funny you said Blink, because Johnny actually said that yesterday. And like first he was like, I hear like a Blink in the vocals. And I personally didn't get that. So yeah, Johnny gets credit on this one. Have you guys, what are your thoughts on Tom being back in Blink? I assume that's going to be announced any second now.
Oh yeah.
Ryan and I we were up in Maine this weekend with a couple of our friends on a trip, and we didn't really have a lot of service where we were, like cell phone service. But so I saw there's like a little lodge that we were at where we had Wi-Fi. So as soon as we were there, I was like reading everything I could read if Tom's really going to come back or not. But I don't know. It seems like people think he is, but maybe an announcement this week. But it was kind of similar hype like a few months ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. And people were saying the same thing, right?
We have inside goss that it's true.
Yeah,
I won't say who our source is or what's happened there, but we've got very, very insider goss that it's true. Because I messaged our lovely friend who does a lot of like the PR stuff and helps us out, and I just messaged her, I was like, yeah, we're gonna need that interview. So if that's once it's announced, we're gonna need that. Thank you.
My question is, will Matt Skiba stay in the band?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting question. It could be cool, but I don't know if Blink needs to be a 3-piece. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, I have no idea.
I wonder if it'd be like a touring thing. Same. I agree. They're a 3-piece, but I wonder if it's going to do like a Green Day, because Green Day are a 3-piece. They're actually a 9-piece. I wonder if it'd be that sort of situation where when they go live, they just have an extra guitarist.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be personally okay with seeing them keep Skiba, only because like I really like some of the songs they've done with him, and he's got a completely different voice and tone to Tom. And I'm not sure if I want to hear Tom do those songs, but alternatively, like it's just like I'm not sure whether I want to go and see Blink and hear Skiba do Tom's songs. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. So it's a hard one.
Yeah, it's weird to think about. I don't know.
I'd be so down for it. I'd be down for any iteration of that. Blink was like one of my favorite bands growing up. I feel like any variation that you get of that is going to be a good time, and any of the like discography as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just like this for them to tour to Australia. Speaking of, get down here, y'all.
I know Derek's been working on. Derek kind of figures out like all of our logistics for everything, and he's been working on what's it called, D, like the flight rig or something, whatever it is.
Sorry, I got like a crying baby in the background, but
hey, yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I'm working on getting a fly rig ready so we can go further out without driving a van.
It is a long way to get out here. We fully understand that. Yeah, from Boston, it's like yeah, you'd be doing like, I'm assuming drive to New York, New York to LA, LA to Sydney.
Would there be a stopover?
No.
Yeah.
LA is one.
I think if we flew to LA and then LA to Sydney.
I mean, I've done the reverse. I've gone Sydney to LA, LA to New York, New York to Boston. So I'm just saying, pick up your end of the bargain, guys.
I feel like we kind of owe you guys. So that'll be our first more than 12-hour trip. Will have to be Australia, 100%.
It'd be worth it, I promise.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you're getting good reception from Australia. Have you noticed like an influx of like viewers and streamers checking you out from Australia?
Absolutely. Yeah, when you look at like your artist profile on Spotify, it kind of breaks down where listeners are from, and I think, tell me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I think we were looking. I think Sydney was pretty high up on the breakdown that we looked at recently.
Yeah, Australia is our 4th biggest country.
Oh,
so
shit.
Like, yeah, it's like United States, and then Germany, United Kingdom, and then Australia.
Yeah, cool.
Well, we have a pretty big following for pop punk and that sort of stuff here, and we do get a lot of that crossover. A lot of people who like pop punk here, like at least dabble in hardcore and metal and things like that. And we've got some bands that are really killing it in the pop punk thing, like obviously Stand Atlantic, yours truly, Between You and Me, Slowly. And we've noticed as well, being one of the channels that, I mean, not to sort of big note ourselves, but the bigger-ish reaction channels.
We're really fucking cool, you guys. I don't know if you know. Johnny's.
I'm trying to be humble, but yeah, being one of the best channels around. We have noticed that one thing that we do have going for us is the fact that we do love pop punk and we check out a lot of pop punk. So it's really fucking cool to hear that it's actually working for bands that might not reach countries like ours that are fucking in the middle of nowhere. So that's rad.
An interesting thing with that as well for me is because you guys are so like a lot of the content is that real like Halloween fall inspired stuff. We don't have that in Australia much. It's becoming like more of a thing, but Halloween's is not really existing in Australia. It's really
there's no Halloween at all. Like
no, there is.
But it's become like, it's more of like, it's just a commercial thing. It's not so much like people like, oh, the festivities of it and stuff. Because it's coming into summer here. Like it just gets hot and sweaty and summery. And so like the fall, like pumpkin spice latte, that American like side of things just isn't something here. But candies are massive. And like the commercialism of it is really big.
Yeah, it's definitely getting more popular with like people going trick or treating and stuff like that, and having kids myself, like I know, because they always want to go trick or treating. It's good to see it getting bigger. But as a huge horror fan, I would love if Australia got to the level that you guys do with Halloween, because it looks so fucking fun. It's essentially Christmas.
Yeah, we are like in the heart of it. Like Salem, Massachusetts is like the Halloween.
Yeah,
is
like
it
Halloween capital of like
the
United States? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Crazy over there. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Hocus Pocus 2 yet?
I have not.
I watched that. You laugh at me. That shit fucking slaps. So nostalgic, man. I watched it the other day with Court. I don't like.
That was pretty good. Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job of making like the original and like paying homage to that, but also bringing in like new vibes. And yeah, I thought they did a good job of it. And that's based in Salem. That's where my relevance is. So fuck you, Johnny.
No, that's cool. All right, man.
I watched that the other day. I thought it was. I like the original cast. Did a great job.
Yeah.
It is cool that they brought the original cast back.
I don't know who the actress is that has the dark hair, but have you seen the first Hocus Pocus?
Yes.
You know, she has like that mouth thing. Apparently it hurts her to do that now. So her mouth's actually on the other side in this movie. Like she like pulls that face. There's some fun trivia for you. Right. Yeah. Hell yeah. Real funny.
Yeah, right. Who is that actress?
No, I don't know. She's in so many things in the 90s.
Yeah, okay. She kind of looks like the woman that plays like, what's her name? Artemis from It's Always Sunny, but I'm not sure if that's the same woman or if it just looks like a... Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
Do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I don't too much.
It's just Johnny by himself then, because I also don't watch it. So
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Sick content, Johnny.
It's such a great show, man. You got to watch that shit. Come on. All right. So, favorite horror movies then. Let's go.
That's a good one. I think I would say the original Halloween.
I like the Saw series.
Okay.
Love the Saw series. That one's good.
That's the only like proper horror I've really watched. I've seen 3 or 4 of them.
I've only seen 2 of them, and I love horror.
Apparently you don't.
The movie The Strangers is that really scary too. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty hectic. Yeah, all right, cool. What do you think about now relevance, because you had Mikey and Freddie in the newest clip? By the way, thank you so much for repping the merch. That was
that was so good. Yeah. We actually had someone DM us being like, they wear breakdown merch. So
I was just like, Mikey's wearing a breakdown hoodie. This is fucking rad. Thoughts on the Halloween reboot?
I thought it was pretty. I liked the first one. Like I think it was 2018 it came out. I thought that one was really good. I thought Kills was pretty. I think it was all right. It wasn't as good as the original remake or whatever, requel or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But I think the trailer for the new one looks pretty good. that comes out this week, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Friday, I think.
Halloween ends the end of the new trilogy, so I think they've all been good. Me and Ryan have seen the first. I just was rewatching them the other day, but I thought they were solid. Did you guys like them?
He won't watch it.
I don't like horror because I'm a little bitch.
I should make you watch Halloween. I should make you watch Halloween. I really loved the first reboot. The last one, I just couldn't get past the shitty dialogue, man. Like some of that was so fucking bad. Like everyone chanting, "Let's go kill him!" Like,
I was gonna say when
evil dies tonight. Like
that was tough. Yeah, I couldn't get
so cringe. The kill scenes in it were fantastic though. So yeah, I'm keen to see the new one. I reckon you should watch the original Halloween because it's not so much a blood and gore thing. It's more the suspense. And I remember watching.
That's what I like about horror.
Have you seen on Netflix that the movies that made us or whatever it is, the little documentary series?
Yeah, I saw the Jurassic Park one. It was awesome, but I haven't seen the whole series.
There's a Halloween, Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street one. You should really watch it. It's really good. And it sort of goes into how Carpenter like set the mood and made it sort of so spooky and so scary and so suspenseful without actually seeing, and it was R-rated, but if you go back and watch it now, it's quite tame in terms of violence, but how he had that level of suspense without really showing Mike Myers too much or without really showing any of the actual killing too much. It's really interesting.
There's a big thing about that on like Jurassic Park you just mentioned. I don't know if it's in that because I've watched something on it. They talk about like the amount of dinosaur time on screen in the first movie. There's like 800% more time of dinosaurs on screen, like the last one versus the first one. They're talking about how that was what was impactful, was the kind of like the suspense and you're waiting for them to happen and like what's going to happen and what do they look like. Maybe that's the same thing with like the horror movies. It's like the what if factor rather than just and there he is fucking people up.
He does fuck people up.
I love that original, and the music in Halloween is so good too. It's crazy.
That was a big thing they touched on, was how important the music was to setting the tone and how iconic that ding 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 became. Like everybody knows it, you know, when they hear it.
I don't.
Except this guy.
I don't think you like making weird noises.
So is that like a conscious thing you guys like are running with? Like you like to keep that keep it sort of like a home-based thing. Like this is where we're from. This is where our roots are. This is what we love. Let's keep using, you know, this sort of vibe and these characters.
I think that like with the fall stuff or the Halloween stuff, it just kind of sided. Like we put out a EP in 2018 called Night Terrors. And it was like right around the time where like we had just like binge watched Stranger Things a lot, and whatever season it was up to at that point. And I don't know, like look, obviously Salem is right up the street, and like we all love Halloween. I love horror movies, but it just kind of happened like, oh, we put it out in the fall, and then I forget what it was. Like we put out like Skeletons the next year, and then we saw a bunch of Instagram comments like, oh, you guys like every fall you guys come back with like new music, and then it just kind of became like organically, I don't know. Now it's like
I don't think we intentionally did it. I think it was more.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
We were kind of like hinting at the October thing, so we kind of just rolled with it, I guess.
We just leaned into it.
One of the things I really like is the fact that you guys have this kind of repetition in like lines or lyrics or references throughout the songs. I think they become like really fun little Easter eggs for fans that have been with the band and followed them. I really like that. I think it's a cool, interesting thing. I played you guys for a friend of mine on the weekend. We went for a trail run and I was playing the new song for him and being like, oh, and this is what, like, check this out. And then I played him some more stuff. And within like 2 or 3 different songs, he was like, oh, I got that. I picked that bit up there, which I think is a really cool, unique thing that you guys are doing. Was that a conscious thing to tie that in, or is that just lazy songwriting?
First off, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you spreading the music at all. But yeah, that started we put out an EP called Side Mirror way back that we kind of did that on, but we only did it on a few songs. And then the first album that we always did that with was the EP or whatever was called The Sky Seems Closer. And yeah, like since then, we've like on every CD, we've tried to have, like you mentioned, like that repetitive lyric and like try to do it in a way that's like sort of related to the theme of whatever the album's about, or whatever, like try to incorporate it in a way in each song that's not just kind of forced. That's been, I don't know if I've pulled it off, but that's been what we've been attempting to do. But yeah, that's like kind of this similar to the October thing. It's like, all right, for the rest of Driveway's career, we always have to have a repeating lyric or word or phrase or theme, and we always need to put out music in October. And
I like
just
that.
kind of, now I feel like if we don't do one of those things, it's going to be a letdown. So
as long as you put stuff out in between the Octobers, I'll be happy. If I have to wait a year every time, I'm pissed at you guys. You know. You're like,
fair point.
Shit, it's March. I've got so long to wait.
Yeah.
You go.
So what do you got coming up? What's in the near future for Driveways? Plug yourselves. Tell everyone.
Well, to start with, the big thing is, I guess we can just announce, we haven't officially announced it yet, but we can just say it here. On October 28th, we have a new EP coming out called Into the Past, 8-song EP that we're going to put up on October 28th. And then we have some other stuff coming up. Maybe Ian, Ryan, what do we have coming up besides that?
We just announced a couple of shows for December. We're going to go down to Pittsburgh and Baltimore in December. We get a hometown show in December.
Cool.
And then we're working on a bunch of stuff, traveling for like the start of the year, like January, February, March. And then probably do a whole lot more traveling and touring and like a bunch of shows and stuff throughout the summer.
The response I've seen to the live shows has been pretty wild. Like, it's so cool seeing everyone like singing along and getting the crowd seem pretty animated. How are you finding, like, obviously you had to take some time off touring and playing live shows during the COVID era. How's that response been since coming back?
It's actually like, we were very surprised on how well the response was. Like, one of the first shows we went out, and we was in New York, Rochester, New York. And it was just like insane. Like, we were not expecting that at all. Like, we can tell, like, we know the ticket sales and all that stuff, but honestly, when the crowd was crazy, and it helps us, like, all right, now we can actually, it's gonna be worth our time to go play some more shows.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Chicago was just mind blown at Chicago.
That's awesome.
It's pretty hard for us to, like, we talk about it all the time. We're still in disbelief that we can like draw a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of came from, like, you know, we never really had full-time like toured or anything. We all had like jobs and lives and whatnot. And we've always, you know, done this on the side, but as much as we can. And then COVID hit, so we didn't play as much during that time at all. And then, yeah, like Dee said, like, these couple of shows over the summer were pretty crazy. Like, we would never expect in a million years we could fill a room with kids, you know what I mean? So it was pretty sick. And yeah, hopefully we can play some more and get some more good turnouts. And yeah, maybe people will actually want to come hear us attempt to play our songs live. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the hard part about being in a band. You can write the songs and record them, but you got to be able to play them. That's the fucking hard part.
The struggle. Yep.
Yeah. When you're watching this growth, you know, like, as you said, you've seen the growth, like, noticeably in the shows and stuff. And like you said, you've got lives, jobs, families, all that sort of stuff. It must be kind of sort of exciting, but is it daunting at all to sort of be like, look, if this snowball effect, you know, continues and it gets bigger, are we prepared to just keep going and keep going bigger? Is it definitely something that you guys would like to push as far as it can go?
I mean, yeah, we always talk about, you know, we always want to grow the band as much as we can, and we're always open to anything. Right now, it's at a point, you know, it can't really be a career yet financially, if you hear what I'm saying. But like, if that was ever something that could happen, I know that'd be great. But yeah, just kind of like you said, just take it as it goes and see if it continues to get bigger and see what we can keep pulling off. And I don't know, am I missing something, guys?
No, I think, like, we always talk about the same thing. Like, if we could ever, you know, get to that point, we would love to. You know, we just want to get to a point where we can, you know, consistently play, you know, bigger and, you know, better shows than, you know, at bars or anything like that. And, like,
yeah, exactly.
Work my way to, like, playing like bigger, more serious music venues, or, like, you know, with bigger bands and stuff like that. So hopefully this year, you know, we're trying a lot more this year. So hopefully.
Are you guys on a record label?
No.
Self-produced. Yeah, cool. I like that.
We pretty much just do everything ourselves. Like,
Not a bad thing though, not a bad approach. Like keep it all in house, and like you're in control of everything. You can sort of make your own decisions, and sort of if there are any financial benefits, you guys can keep them for yourselves.
For sure, yeah, that part of it's great. Being able to do what we want when we want is awesome, and love to see the band grow. But that is a great like pro of kind of just being independent. Sure.
When it comes to stuff like merch, do you guys design that yourself? Do you like look outside? Because you guys have some like really cool merch that you've done.
We actually have a friend of ours. His name on Instagram is I Am Doom, like Doom with like 3 O's. His name is Ben. And he's from England, and he's done the vast majority of all of our merch designs.
Yeah, cool.
I think Derek just kind of spotted his work online one day, like, geez, 3 or 4 years ago, and we've just had a great relationship with him, just making more and more merch for us. Always coming up with good ideas.
Shout out Ben.
And,
I like that.
I Am Doom on Instagram. He's the best. And then in terms of merch that we, print, sometimes we'll print stuff ourselves. And we've had a few things that, Derek does a lot of touching up for certain designs and things like that. But for the most part, it's just him, and he's killed it every time.
Yeah, so good. Is that a big thing for you guys in terms of growth and like a monetary? Is merch where you guys kind of see the best return, or is it like the tickets from live shows?
Honestly, we don't even really care. Like we don't care enough to like even like we have like a shirt idea, we'll put it out. If it sells, it sells. It doesn't, it doesn't. Like we don't really care. Like we care, but we don't like care.
Okay.
As long as you see some people wearing your stuff, like
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
exposure. Yeah.
I mean, as long as I get like the t-shirt that I get to wear to bed, that's literally all that matters.
So you guys have always got, let's just keep making merch. Why? To sell? No, because I need clothes for at home.
Yeah.
I need shit to sleep in. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'll say this. I feel like since like the last year for us, because music really only like reopened the start of the year for us in Oz. And I feel like you've spent more money on merch this year than we've earned.
Yeah.
Which is just Johnny loves a bit merch table.
Well, see, like I don't mind buying merch online. I will purchase merch online, but for me, it's like if I can see a band live and purchase it from them there, and this obviously comes from years of being in like the local scene myself. Like I know that that money is directly going to go to the band, and when you've got bands that are coming such a fucking long way, and it's such an expensive trip, I might only spend like $25 or $30 on a shirt, or I might spend $100 and get a shirt and a vinyl and a hat or whatever. But
or $200 and a hoodie and a hat and a pair of socks and a jumper and
yeah. But I mean, like if I can sort of be a part of helping out and bands continuing to want to come all this way and finding it viable, then fuck, I'm happy to spend my money on it like that.
Good boy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like that's huge. Like when we were just playing this past summer, like we had a bunch of people that were nice enough to like buy some stuff for us. And you're absolutely right. Like taking the van down across the country, it's not cheap, but people like us. And so we like that every time. And it's funny, like we were just talking about it this weekend. Like we at the shows, we had like, some like pretty long lines at the merch table for our standards, which is no one buys anything. So we were like, wow, this is crazy. And a couple of the kids at the shows were like, oh, like, do you guys know the band? We're like, it's us. Like, it's thanks for buying the shirt. Like I think
I love that.
Like, if you do the band rides, like, yeah, it's me.
That's so good.
Stop wearing fucking horror masks in your videos.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't know it's
pretty
me. Yeah.
The fact that they thought that we had a merch guy was pretty sick. We were like, all right, they think we're big enough to have a merch guy.
I'm just waiting for the people to be watching you guys go, did you guys kick Michael and Freddie out of the band now?
That's a cool thing though. That's like a nice thing. They're actually just like it's there and they want to support the band, like regardless.
It helps a ton,
Just-
and we appreciate it every time. Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll put a little link down below the video here so people can go jump on and support. I'm the same as you. I like more than just like owning merch. I like supporting people more than that. I think that's a cool thing, and something we've kind of talked about on the channel a bunch is like we've been lucky enough to have a platform now to share some bands that have a smaller following, and it's really really fucking cool to us to see people who like will then send us videos from shows or buy merch or whatever and be like, oh, I found these guys from you guys. That's my favorite thing. And that's the coolest thing about this channel. So I know you guys say you don't care too much about the merch sales, but anyone watching this, go support, buy some merch and make them care.
Buy yourself a nice new bed shirt. Yeah, no, but that's the other thing as well. Like Nate touched on with the supporting of bands and stuff. Like we're lucky enough now doing this that we essentially don't have to buy tickets to any of the shows we go to anymore. So I know that like I'm already not spending 30, 40, 50, $80 on these shows. So that's extra money that I don't have to spend that I'm like, cool, I'll give it to the band in another way and I get to wear some cool shit. So it all balances out.
It does all balance out.
Yeah, for sure. Like mostly all the merch money, it just goes right back into the band. Like we need stuff all the time, guitar strings, van maintenance and all. I mean, it's a huge laundry list. So it mostly all just comes back anyways. And obviously we appreciate it.
Yeah, it allows you to do what you do better, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, we said the same thing with him. We started merch because like we need like to build a studio. That costs money to do stuff like that. So
anytime we don't have to like take money like from us three personally and we can just use the band funds, it's like that's huge. So,
yeah, it's just like, oh, that feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, 100%. Hey, so talk to us about dream tour lineup. Who's a band that you would love to play with?
Other than Blink
Probably
182.
Silverstein.
Oh,
Other than
Silverstein.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely Silverstein's up at the top of the list.
Did you like
I
the
would
last
also
album?
say-
Yeah, I love the last album. I think
Yeah.
it's probably one of their best in like a
Same, it bangs.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a little bit with Silverstein and how maybe back in the early sort of iteration of that scene, so to speak, they may not have been the biggest name because obviously that you had bands like Finch, Funeral for a Friend, The Used, My Chemical Romance would probably Story of the Year with the bigger names. But Silverstein have always been consistent and they've been consistently growing and at a level that they can just continue, whereas so many of those other bands have just disappeared. It's wild.
Sad. That's a great list of bands you just had right there.
Yeah, dude.
The thing is, half those bands are now back together because they're like, emo revival, baby, let's go. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All those bands are awesome, but 100% agree. Silverstein is like all about continuity, man. That's a lot of albums. It's a lot of material, and they've still stayed relevant. They've still like pushed themselves. I love the most recent album. And yeah, hats off to them. I can't imagine. I already feel like I've started to repeat myself too often with our songs, and I can't imagine writing music for as long as they have.
unless you're a band like like Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue, those bands that don't give a fuck and they can AC/DC just write the same song 300 times.
AC/DC only have 2 songs.
Yeah,
Just tell them
it's the same riff,
slightly
just
different
twisted
tempo.
around.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's all the same tempo. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is cool. So that's daunting to you, thinking about like writing. Does the songwriting process ever sort of stress you out?
I think it depends for us sometimes. Like, I don't know, like this last album, we had a lot of ideas. And I'd say like we had everything pretty mapped out by the time that we wanted to record with our producer, Tommy. But like for like just lyrics and melodies, I kind of put off a little bit this time around. So there was a lot of times where I'd be tracking vocals one day and then going home at night and then trying to write something for the song I was supposed to track the next day. And in the past, it hasn't been the case. And I think part of the reason is just, we've not that we have some crazy body of work, but just for us, I feel like we've done, written a good amount of music, and I just get self-conscious about that sometimes. Like, I know Ryan feels the same with drum parts a lot. Like, are we repeating ourselves? Are we doing the same thing that we already did? And hopefully we haven't done that too egregiously yet.
Yes, yet being the key word.
well, you haven't. We've been entertained. So, I mean, at least you got 2 guys that are happy with it.
That's all you need, right?
Better than none. All right, so we're going to ask the tough questions now. Yeah? We're going to ask some tougher questions.
Yeah, go for it. You
All
take,
right.
take the lead.
So, I'm going to start off. Now, I'm going to go back to horror theme. All right?
Surprise.
Freddie or Mike, and why?
Got to be Michael Myers.
Yeah,
I-
definitely.
I think it has to be Michael Myers. He's unstoppable, and he's got a better mask, and I like the knife better than the claw. And these aren't the greatest reasons in the world, but I think
you go with your reasons. It's all yours. It's fine.
I mean, I also think the Halloween movies are generally better than Nightmare on Elm Streets. They're pretty, like, if you go back and rewatch the first Nightmare on Elm Street, pretty bad. But it is good. I mean, it's good, but it's bad.
It's got like nostalgia.
I haven't watched the first and second one in a while. I should go back and watch them, but like after the second one, they started to get really camp. Like they started to get really sort of teen, and like I think it was the fourth one where you had like Dokken doing the theme music for it and stuff like that. It became real sort of almost MTV horror in a way. And then they tried to bring those darker elements back, but it kind of always seemed a little bit, I don't know. Yeah, watching back now, it's just like, oh, it's a bit cringe.
Yeah, Halloween kind of went off the rails too. I think there was one of them that had like Busta Rhymes in it.
Yes.
H2O, dude.
H2O.
That was H2O.
All right. That was definitely a movie to watch.
I like those ones that there's like the movies that's so bad that they go, yeah, it's fine. You got to watch it because it's so bad. Like it's worth it for the badness.
But I feel like at least with Halloween, like they always kept, and the same with Friday 13th for the most part, they kept the horror element. They didn't, like Freddy, Child's Play, those things really tried to interject the horror and the let's attract teenagers with a, probably a shorter attention span sort of thing. And it worked for some of it. Like Freddy was great. He had some great one-liners and some great, really inventive kills and things.
I like that. I liked Freddy a lot in Freddy vs. Jason. I thought that movie was pretty sick when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was a good one.
All right, you go. Next one.
Do you need me for this chat or is it cool? You guys just talk hard. I'll just sit here being like, doop, 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 doop.
Nathan's just there looking up puppy dogs.
What is a Jason and how does he horror? Yeah, I'm legit half the conversation. I'm like, I know because you said them in the movie, but I've got no idea about the kills, what these movies mean, when they came out. Who's Jason? That wasn't a guy's name that I heard.
He's the hockey mask guy. The iconic hockey mask guy, man.
I thought that dude was from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wasn't that the hockey guy? Oh, no, that's Casey.
Yeah. Help me out, guys. Come on.
Yeah, righto, mate. Well, you know the rules. No horror and everything.
No horror and no thrice.
Yeah. Johnny's the biggest thrice head, and it's just a band I just never got into, and it breaks his heart every time.
Old Trace was good though.
I just never got into them. I was more of a brand new guy, and I feel like we talked this before. You're either like, I feel like you kind of fall into one of the two camps. I was like brand new from the get-go, and so that was like the era of following a band as they changed that I was into, not thrice. So not against him. We've checked him out on the channel before.
I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you, but brand new were the reason that Thrice got back together.
No.
They all went to
Thrice broke up.
They had a extended hiatus, and they all caught up and met up at a brand new show and decided to start writing again.
That's fun. See, brand new's better. Brand new or thrice?
Ooh,
probably brand new.
Yeah, team brand.
Yeah.
We're done. The horror.
Unsubscribe. Fuckers.
Hey, have you guys been able to play any festival shows, or has it all been just like solo or like?
Yeah, pretty much everything like we've played is like stuff we booked ourselves, and so we've been trying to get on like a bunch of festivals. Like this whole year, we tried really hard to get on some.
Ryan's been sending a lot of emails.
Yeah, tons of emails this past year. I bombarded every festival.
Hell yeah, do it.
They probably like, never book these kids because he's really annoying. But hopefully this coming year we could get on, at least a couple, because that's our goal is to try to get on, like that's what we want to go is ultimately do is be able to play like those bigger shows, like the festival shows. And
I feel like it's a good chance for you guys to want to reach new audiences because it's such a varied audience space across the bands. You got more chance of getting exposure and kind of like proving yourselves, which I think would be really cool. So,
definitely.
But look, we only have time for one more here.
Oh, okay.
So let's give you the tough one.
Yeah, the tough one. All right, guys. All right. Now, this is going to make or break the friendship, probably between you guys as well. All right. You got to go on stage, right? You're supporting Blink 182, main support, right?
Blink 182, you fucking idiot. Get it right.
Blink 182
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
with Skiba. You're going on stage in front of 10,000 people. You got to go on stage perfectly dry, and you have to go on either putting on cold, wet underwear or cold, wet socks. What do you choose? And why?
Cold wet underwear. I don't even wear socks when I play drums, so I don't think I can wear cold wet ones.
One.
Yeah, I'm undies. Cold undies. I need dry socks. I need them. I need the dry socks.
Pat?
I think I'm also gonna say cold wet underwear.
Fuck yes, I'm out. I'm done. You're all worse.
Resubscribe. Yeah, I can't do the socks. The feeling of wet, mushy feet.
Here's why you're all wrong.
Oh God, here we go.
You don't want to chafe, and you're gonna be putting like, oh, did I mention they're also not your socks or undies?
You can't start doing that on every time someone disagrees.
You're having to put on Johnny's sweaty old underwear from the day before. That's what's happening there. I didn't mention that. Sucks to you guys. Now you've got lice.
It's okay. We're playing in front of 10,000 people and with Blink 182, so it's okay.
That's the true artist right there. He's doing it for the fans.
Yeah,
I love
whatever.
that. Boys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. We honestly couldn't be more stoked to see you guys grow and grow. And however we can help in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out, because I want to see you guys keep growing and get on some Australian festivals in the future.
Would love to come down to Australia. That'd be awesome.
Thanks heaps, dudes.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
For having us.
Hey,
Our
awesome
pleasure. Big fans.
Thank you.
Peace. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.